treasure.
Someday we won't need mud boots.
Why?
Because it'll finally dry out.
Oh, yeah.
Take it down.
Yeah. You want to just slide it all over and fold it and then pull the stakes out, or?
We can just actually slide it off and leave it.
Okay, yeah. Right.
That way we got to put it back in a few days.
It's already there.
It's already there.
Yep. That's easier.
Not easier.
Check and see how everything's doing in there.
Yeah, I'd like to. Looks fine.
Oh yeah. The kale looks good.
Not talking to the camera at all, though.
No.
Go ahead. No, you're not on the camera.
Huh?
So no, you're not on there. Yeah, we've had several nights that got down below 25 into the teens. So we put a second layer of row cover on the stuff that we planted in the last video. So next several days loads are supposed to be at the lowest in the 30s. So we went ahead and took that second cover off, let a little more light get in. So we'll let it go like that. And I think this coming weekend, about another week, it's going to get down cold again. So we've just left it in place, slid it off to one side. We'll just slide it back over and put it back on, and hopefully in just a few weeks we won't have to worry about it all. I mean, really, we don't have to worry about too much right now because there's just Swiss chard, kale, a little bit of spinach, so it'll probably all be okay anyways, but it'd slow down the growing, and we want this stuff to get going pretty quick. So we're just trying to protect it as much as we can without really going out of our way. So it's pretty easy, just one little area. So we've got that covered. Single layer now, we'll leave that on there. Put the second one on there just as needed. So alright, so we thought we'd do a little bit of a video, or just part of this video, on the solar setup for the barn. You know, we've kind of touched on a little bit here and there, but actually walk you through the pieces of it, and I'll show you some pictures from the install. It's a single 300 watt 35 volt panel, 36 volt panel. It's plenty enough for the little system that we've got set up. What it's mounted on is a recycled basketball goal that we had, that you can adjust up and down, so we can bring it down to clean it. I'll show you that here in a minute. And then also we built the frame to mount the panel on, so that you can change the angle for the season depending on the, you know, where the sun's at. So I guess we'll go ahead and show you how we let it down so you can clean the panel off or work on it, whatever you need to do. So we'll show you that now. So this is the lowest setting for winter time when the sun's the lowest. We're getting just about as good a voltage with it on the middle setting, which is kind of spring and fall. So we've just left it that way. And then we can take it all the way up to summer where the sun's straight overhead. And that's right there. So it'll spend all summer right there. So to optimize the sun angle. Alright, so I'll show you how we built the frame for it, how it's mounted. So this part is the original frame for the backboard, the basketball goal. So we just kept that. Built a frame out of unistrut and angle iron. So it's just pre-drilled where we want the angle to be for the different seasons. Just simple clips in there. So you can see it's fairly simple. We added a little bit of bracing to it just to stiffen it up. I didn't buy the solar panel mounting clips. Just used the regular washers and bolts, unistrut. Added a little piece of fence pipe. Just as a backing, so it's a little taller on the panel, shorter here, that way it clamps it down. So poor man's clamp. There you go, you can see it's a 36.6 volt panel. These are commercial panels that were destined for a big commercial install. I don't know if it happened and then they got taken down, or if it didn't happen. I know somebody that bought a bunch of them. Bought this one off of him, so we're able to put it to use. So leads just come in, they go down, comes out of the post here. I've got a fuse on both legs here. I don't have a disconnect. I'll just pull the fuses if I need to kill the feed going to the barn. It goes in the conduit. Dug down deep under the garden and run straight over into the barn. See, it comes up in the corner there. It's underground cable. Went ahead and still put it in conduit. Just goes up through there. It's the gray wire, gray cable. Oh, well, I don't know if you can see that. There you go. It's the gray cable. It's coming across right up there. Comes down. Goes into the charge controller. See, it comes around. We're using Anderson power poles for quick connect everywhere. Goes into the charge controller. Have two 35 amp hour U1 sized deep cycle batteries. So 70 amp hours of battery, 12 volt. It's wired to 12 volt. It's just plenty of storage to do whatever we need. So. See, it comes out of, here's our battery connection. Again, both legs are fused. The load circuit coming out. This is a resettable fuse. It goes into the timer. This load circuit is left on all the time. We use this timer to control the single light that provides a little bit of extra light in the morning during the winter. So we do provide a little bit of artificial light, but not much, just a couple hours worth. Right now, you can see it's extremely cloudy, but we're getting, I don't know if you can see that, 36 volts out of the panel. Our batteries with no load on it, right at 14 volts with all the lights on. Bring it back around. It only drops to 13.6, so we've got good full batteries. So output comes over a switch box. The barn's wired as if it's regular 120 volt AC wiring. In case we ever do switch it over. I just didn't want to run power out here right now. So, runs out. Got a bulb there. Fixture, it's on a circuit by itself. Then over into the main coop. Got 3 fixtures. Then you can see the single one that's not on. That's the one on the load circuit of the charge controller that kicks on and off automatically. We also have a leg coming out here. For an inverter. This kicks it to normal 110 or 120 volts. It powers the aerator, sends air out. See those lines? It's little 1/4 inch air lines that go out to the rain barrel out back. And putting that air in there helps keep that rainwater fresh, stirred up. It really improves the quality of the water and the life of the water. So overall, it's a pretty simple setup. I don't know exactly how much we've got in it. I haven't added it all up. It's fairly cheap, reasonably cheap anyways, to be completely off grid. So it works really well. We've got enough storage capacity in the batteries that we can even run that box fan off the little inverter over there if we need extra airflow or air moving around in the summer. We've ran it on a medium speed round the clock and not killed the batteries. So works really well. Didn't take too long to install everything. Really basically do it all in a weekend. So just thought I'd give you a little look at that, and something you could do pretty easy and not have to run power all the way out to the barn. So the only reason the solar panel's way over there instead of on the barn is we've got some pretty good sized pine trees right behind the barn that won't let it get enough sun. So we put it over there to optimize location, and that's why we can go with one single panel. Appreciate y'all watching. Be sure like and subscribe, share with your friends, and keep watching. We'll have more stuff out soon. Thanks a lot.